Look at the boys. Hi, boys.
I just went down here and I saw the boys like so excited. I was like, whoa.
Hello, Theodore. Hello, sweet puppy.
No.
And what about Mr. Thaddeus? Hello. Yeah. Good boys. They stay up all night protecting the property and then they nap all day long, huh, boys? You're so good. Yes, you're so good. Hey friends, I'm Heidi with Heavenly Minded Home, and we like talking about all things homey. Homemaking, homeschooling, home discipleship, homesteading. And today we've got a big upgrade for our flock of 20 baby chicks and 2 turkeys. So come hang out with us today and we'll show you what we got going on.
Bye.
Who do you have?
I have the pie.
The baby.
She's very little.
She's so small compared to everyone.
You should take a picture of me.
Okay, I'll take a picture.
Here's the Bible. Here's the Bible.
Careful where you step, bun.
Here. Come. Come. You come. Here. Come here.
Hello. Yes, you little chirpy thing. Look how cute you are.
Oh, she's stuck.
Our favorites, I'll tell y'all. Come here. Get the turkeys. Turkeys are the best, huh? Yeah? You a chirpy one? We have William and Clyde. Clyde is loud. Huh, you loud. Where's William? I think our William. Ooh. Are you? Maybe you're Clyde. You have to be Clyde. You're definitely louder. The other one must be William. You're so soft. welcome to our week. It's been kind of crazy this week. Lots going on, I feel like, in all the different fronts with co-op classes starting. You guys, we're doing Minecraft Club, we're doing Culture Club, we're doing so many fun things. If you haven't checked it out already, you're gonna wanna do that. So co-op stuff going on, biblical womanhood study that's going on, our fifth year of biblical womanhood, which you guys are just amazing. I love all you ladies who are over there. If you haven't joined us yet, of course, I'm gonna tell you, it's linked down below. Come and join us. And then all these things that we're working on, all these different projects, and then the things going on here at our house. We have a lot that we're trying to get to with still planting flowers to harvest and sell, looking at moving a bunch of these blackberries that we have and setting up like some native fruits and things like that we can sell. So just trying to get all these different things done, having the Great Pyrenees puppies now, and then these chickens. So it is crazy hazy here today. So we got some stuff done, but with just the smoke from the fires and things, it's just like hot and humid and hazy and gross, but we did work through it and at least get a spot done for these chickens. So we used to have chickens. We had a flock of about 30 some odd chickens, and we had 2 turkeys. One was in a freak accident, it died, and then the other one we had for forever. This turkey literally went missing. So for those of you who remember Turk, our guard turkey, she was the best thing in the whole wide world. She literally just went MIA one day. We actually recently found out what happened to her. Not kidding. Somebody saw her walking along the road line, stopped, loaded her into their car, thinking she was like a wild turkey or something. She was a white, broad-breasted turkey. Like, she doesn't look wild at all. And literally drove her like a town over and dumped her out in a field. And so now we don't know what's happened to her. But I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Who stops on the road, like in someone's yard, and loads a turkey up into their car? That is crazy to me. But that's apparently what happened to our turkey, who was kind of famous in our town. So we had lost them because we had a predator problem, and no matter what we did, it just, nothing was working. They got picked off. It was horrible. For those of you who've been around and watched our vlogs for a long time, like, you guys, we shared throughout the process, we're like, oh my gosh, like it was so gut-wrenching. It was awful. So ever since then, I've said no more. Like, until we have this situation under control, I'm not signing us up for that because it was awful. We have 2 chickens left, Ellie and Chocolate, and they are like just retired chickens now that just kind of roam around our property and antagonize me by getting into the yard where they're not supposed to be. But we finally went this year after we got the predator problem taken care of with having the Great Pyrenees now. We have chickens. We picked up 20 chicks and 2 turkeys. The turkeys, we don't even actually have plans to really do anything other than just have them on the property. We love turkeys. Turkeys are amazing. So our turkeys will probably just be like token turkeys on the farm because we love them so much. And then we got 20 chicks. We got Easter eggers, olive eggers, what all did I get? Now I kind of don't remember. I really don't remember. Anyways, we got like 20 chickens, and the goal here being to raise them and either sell them as laying hens or sell eggs once they start producing. So I'm kind of in the like, whatever works best, whatever we can sell, like that's the point here, because we don't need 20 chickens for our family. Like, we used to have so many eggs. I mean, I could not find people to give them away to because we had so many. And so I think that's wasteful and that's not what we want to do. But being able to sell to our local community, local farmers market, eggs, laying hens, whatever, kind of in that thing. And so we got these 20, and I just set up a simple brooder box. We do it very, very simple. I just get a big plastic tub from Walmart. We cut a hole in the top, put chicken wire on it so it can be open but yet protected from the cats. And we put them down in the basement with a heating lamp, give them a couple weeks to pick up. I personally love getting chickens in the summer. It is so much easier because it's so much warmer. You get them outside quicker. When you get them in the spring, the evening, hi puppies, the nighttime temperatures are still, they see me sitting down here, now they want to come down here. Hold on, please. Good boys. But when you get chickens in the spring, they the temperatures at night, they're just so cold, and so you have to keep them in a brooder longer, you got to keep them under their heat lamp longer, and you just can't get them outside as quickly. And for me, I prefer it this way. I prefer to get them when it's really, really warm in the summer already, so that way I can have them in the basement for a little while, keeping them warm and getting them going, but then I can get them outside. I can get them outside so much quicker, let them start free ranging and, you know, doing what chickens need to go do, and I don't have them in the house. And I'm not having to clean out a brooder box, and it doesn't smell, and I'm not having to deal with all of that, okay? I take like the most minimal, simple way across the board for everything in my life. That is my jam, and so that's what we do with chickens anyways. So we've got these guys now. It was time for them. They needed to get outside. So this is where I've been talking about this whole like creating a homestead. We've lived here for 9 years. We have 8 acres. We're in Western North Carolina, Zone 7B. We've never done anything with the property. Number one, because we were too busy with our wedding business. Then we were too busy with ministry full time. And then my husband had an injury, and then we didn't have money. And so we just kind of never have been able to like get the property to work for us. And so it's really been our effort this year to figure out how to move in that direction. And one of that was this barn. I showed a video last week of us, I think it was last Friday. Anyways, you guys, we got these all in a Homestead playlist. You can go check them all out. But trying to tackle this barn, and that's what I wanted to kind of just share with you guys today with the chickens. Work with what you have. Like, I see so many people and they're like, oh my gosh, I would love to do that. I would love to just, I don't know. The idea of homesteading is just so romantic, I think. And sure, there's a lot of it that in reality, right? The chicken poo, the dealing with this, the things dying, that, you know, all these different things that aren't very romantic, but I think it is romantic. I think life is as lovely as you choose to see it. And so if you choose for it to be this lovely life of, you know, homesteading, even if it's in your backyard of a suburban, you know, plot or whatever, like it can be as lovely as you see it to be and you choose to live. And so having things, you know, maybe it's not 20 chickens to try to sell, but maybe it's 8 chicken or, you know, a little something here, a garden, you know, with this or that. You know, I think there's so many ways that you can do this. And so I think that that big key factor, you know, for us, a lot of things that held us back is, well, we have the space, but we don't have the money. We don't have the resources. We don't have the this. And just really taking that to heart of like, the Lord provides and there's bounty everywhere. And so with all the things we've been doing at the flower farm, we're using the land, like we're cutting down trees that needed to get thinned anyways. We're using those to be our posts and our fencing. For the dogs, you know, we have this barn here. It's this old like dilapidated barn that has been down here that we've never used. It literally had junk in it when we moved in. The owner of the property has a bunch of tools and stuff in it. And then my brothers and old furniture and like different things over the years, like everything just came to live in this barn. It was like a trash heap, okay? That's what it was. And so we started being like, we need this to be a usable space. It is not pretty at all. It needs a lot of work still to be done to it, but we can make do with what we have. We can clean it really well. And I actually found a few big, huge, my husband found these big, like 5-gallon tubs of white paint, which you guys know, white paint is my jam. That is my superpower. I will paint anything with white paint. And we saw these and I was like, it may not be perfect, but I might still spray it down with a coat of fresh paint, and that will make it so much lovelier right then and there. So that's on my list. But taking this barn and cleaning it up and making a space that the dogs can be, we got these Great Pyrenees. They are outside 24/7. They're not allowed in the house. They're to be the protectors of the farm, right? The homestead, the property, the whatever you want to call it. And so they're to be outside, and we're teaching them boundary lines. We have them out on leads throughout the day. They sleep most of the day because they're up all night protecting, and we have not seen a single coyote since we got them, which has been amazing. Hello, love. Oops.
Sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay. Make everybody seasick a little bit. So we want them to be with the animals, right? Because they grew up, they were born on a farm, grew up on a farm, chickens, sheep, goats, and we want them to know that that's what they need to be protecting and that's what they need to be doing. So we wanted to get the chickens down here with them as quickly as we could. So we gave the chickens a couple weeks to just get their feathers, so that way they can regulate their body temperature. And then we came down here and we just took a little corner in the barn to make the chicken corner, make the chicken coop, the whatever. Again, it's not pretty, it's not glamorous, you're not going to see this on Pinterest, but we worked with what we had and we created a space for our chickens. So here's how we did it. So in the spirit of simplicity and working with what we have, we took this back corner here of the barn. Once we got everything cleared out, I came down here with my pressure washer. This place has been infested with wasps for so many years, and the pressure washer knocked those nests down so quick. We got that cleared out really well, cleaned it up. There's still some stuff in here, but the things in here are either like this old broken mower that there's no, it would cost more than, I mean, you just buy a new one at the point it would cost to replace the motor. But we have a couple things that are a little bit bigger, old couch out here that need to be loaded up and taken into a recycling center in the dump. So we got a couple bigger things, and then the other things that are left are things that we can still make use of. Not pretty, not the best, but we could make use of them. And so something that we had was my brother, when he was living here with us, we had some leftover wood from some wedding projects, and he wanted to make himself some skate ramps. And so we have these two big like foundations of half pipes that never got finished. They've kind of just always been sitting here, and they're really kind of awkward and strange, and like, what would you use them for? But I wanted to be as frugal as possible and use up what we already had. We don't have the budget to go out and buy different things. And even if we did, like, why not work with what you have already? And so all we did is we took this half pipe here, this like frame of it, laid it down. I took the pressure washer to it and cleaned it off really well. And then we just wrapped it with some wiring. We have some wire like cattle fence panels that we have and have used with our chickens and even the dogs and kids. You know, we've always just used that for a cheap fencing solution. So we went ahead and just using some zip ties and a few nails to secure things. We kind of just put the nails in and then bent them over the fencing. We went ahead and put some fencing up around this half pipe skeleton. So once we got that wrapped up there with the fencing, right, we want to make sure the chickens are safe, they're secured. I don't want our cats getting in there. We do have outdoor cats to kind of just keep pests off of the property, which is great. But our cats have never been around small chicks. They're fine with our big chickens. They know where they stand with them, but they'd never been around small chicks before. And so we wanted to be somewhere, you know, safe, that they're not gonna have to worry about the cats, and then certainly safe against, you know, the outside predators. And so we have them here. We put that big, you know, the tall, like 5-foot fencing around them. And then I took chicken wire and put that down around the base of it, because the chicks are still small enough that they can fit through the panels. And so right now, I want to make sure that our chicks are going to be contained. They will get to the point that they free range until we sell them or whatever we end up doing. But until that point, I want them staying in the designated area. I do not want to be chasing baby chicks all over the property. No, thank you. So we have them in here where they're safe. We've got a spot for them. I went ahead and just turned their brooder box up sideways so they can kind of still get in there and sleep at night. They're not totally ready to start roosting yet, but those instincts are starting to kick in for them at least a little bit. So adding their roosting spot is coming up next. That just will be like phase 2 or 3, whatever you want to count it as. So baby chicks love it. They still have their brooder box in there that they can get into at night. They still curl up in there, but we'll start getting them some roosting spots. And I love it because then they're in here. The dogs are in here all night with them. They do amazing. The puppies love it. When we open it up, they go run in there. We even wrapped the fencing out. We left the like big barn door open here and wrapped the fencing out so they have an outdoor space. And we just went ahead and worked with what we had. There was a hole in the wall over there. And so we just put an old piece of wood there as like a plank to help them get in and out. And we let them use the hole as their chicken door. It was just so easy to do that. I have a piece of wood we put in front of it to block it up at night, just so they're inside and nothing else can get in. But then in the morning we come down, make sure they have fresh water, give them some food, and then we just move that board over so that way they can go in and out on their own little chicken ramp. But I just love that okay, maybe it's not as beautiful as so many people that you see online or the Pinterest ideas that you're looking at or whatever it may be. And sure, if I had the ability to make it a little bit nicer, I would love to. Who doesn't love a cute little chicken house, right? Like, come on. But you can normalize it being kind of ugly and scrap wood and an old half pipe that your brother was building like 5 years ago, right? Like, you can go ahead and just use what you have, even if it isn't pretty, even if it isn't new, even if it's really hodgepodged and like kind of sort of fits together, we make it work. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. that allows us the ability here to have these 20 chicks. Now they're in a space where they have much more room. They are so happy. They can get outside. They're chasing little bugs around. We're throwing some scratch grains down so they can kind of, you know, start pecking at stuff. And they're finding, I don't know what they're doing now, but they're finding little bugs and doing all their cute little chicken things. They're making their little dust baths. And I mean, it's just adorable. We come down here and we just hang out and watch them, you know, because they're so fun to watch. And like my mom pointed out, now our brooder box is empty. So now we could go and get another batch, because then it's really simple. We already have a space set up. We already have a system in place. And as they get older, or as we add on more, we will just continue to kind of move the fencing outside back a little bit to give them some more space. And ideally we'll get to the point where they're all big enough that in the morning we can open it up and let them out. And then when it's bedtime, they'll come inside just like our other chickens do. We'll close it up and they'll be good to go. We're keeping our Pyrenees with them, so that way they know that those are their animals. That is who they are there to protect. And so that way, as the chickens are out free ranging throughout the day, we have the Great Pyrenees that can be with them, can be keeping an eye out for them, and can be keeping them safe. And so doing these little things, again, it's working with what we have, it's being resourceful, being frugal, but it's also giving it a shot. I think that's just another just so important thing. Like, I want a lovely life, and to me, lovely looks like simple. It looks like real. It looks like as close to God's creation as I can get, right? I want to eat real food. I want to heal naturally to the best of our ability. I want to be involved with where my eggs come from, and if we could get a cow, we'd have a cow, and you know, doing these different things and working the ground and growing the flowers and growing our own vegetables and whatever it may be that we need. Like, I want to be doing that. I want to be expanding my herb garden. You know, I want to be doing all of these things, and to me, that is lovely. There's work and there's things that you have to do, right? Every morning we got to be down here. This morning, our daughter, who was supposed to feed him because I was off to a doctor's appointment, she got caught having to do something else. So in between getting my husband to his doctor's appointment, I'm running down here and we're feeding everybody real quick and getting the dogs up where they have to, and you know, all the different pieces. Like, there's definitely the work and the things, but that's not bad. I think that's lovely because we're putting in the effort and then we get to reap that reward. My kids live in this chicken pen nearly all day long. I mean, Olivia, every time we turn around, hey, can I go check on the baby chicks? Can I just snuggle them? I think they need snuggles, huh? You love giving them all the loves, but it's so amazing. And the things that my kids learn, the values and lessons and things that they just are like soaking up right now, you can't buy that. You know, nothing else gives that to a child, like getting to be hands-on, right? In these real situations. And so maybe for you, it's not, I want a barn and chickens and whatever, but for us, that's really what it's always been. Oh, did you find the baby? The baby. Look at the baby.
She is. Holy cow, baby.
She's a little tiny, she's like the runt. She's so much smaller. Oh, and she is yucky on her feet. Okay, go take her in there. Let's keep them all in there so we're not chasing them around the barn. That's not my favorite thing. She's so much smaller than the rest of them, you guys. It's adorable. She's like this big and everybody else is like this big over here. So they call her the baby. And everybody babies her because she's just so little and cute. But this is part of finding a lovely life. And it might look like an old yucky barn with an old nasty couch that's like 15 years old. I mean, it was old when we moved here. I mean, Zoe, stop. Okay, put her back in the thing. Zoe is a cattle dog, part cattle dog. She's half German Shepherd, half cattle dog. And she doesn't like things not being in order and like orderly. And so baby chicks are the opposite of orderly. So they stress Zoe out a little bit. Not that she wants to hurt them, but she gets anxious when they're being disorderly. And she's just too powerful for a little tiny baby chick. So sometimes she'll go to grab to like try to get them in control. And it's a little too much. We don't want to hurt anybody. So Zoe gets a little much sometimes, huh, Zozo? But anyways, I think that was just it. We got the barn. as ready as it's going to be. We got the baby chicks moved down here. They've got their own little space to be warm and snug at night, and yet be outside in the daytime, getting to do what chickens do best and poke at bugs and eat everything they can possibly find, because that's all chickens want to do is eat 24/7. So they're down here, they're happy, they have so much more room. The turkeys are growing so fast, you know, they're all getting so big. Maybe we can go.
Fast.
Yeah, the baby's trying. She's trying to catch up with the rest of them. Maybe we can go and get some more chicks now, right? And again, it's just these little investments of, yeah, it's a little bit of money, but then it's time, right? It's time to grow them up, time to get them feathered, and seeing them grow and just become these happy, healthy chickens that we can go and we can sell and we can make something out of. Well, the kids are having the best time in the whole wide world along the way, is the best thing to possibly do. And that is what we think is pretty stinking lovely, huh?
Yes.
So that's what we're doing today. Chickens are happy. An old half pipe is what we made their coop out of, but it works because we work with what we got. It's not pretty, it's not perfect, but it does the job, and that's what matters.
It's really sunny today.
It is sunny today. It's just hazy and gross from those fires. But anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with us for a little bit today. We're gonna get back and go make sure all those chicks are good and close up the gate before we go up. Otherwise, you guys be right back here. Tomorrow, Saturday, is podcast day. So next episode of Heavenly Mind has a, what is it? Next episode of Heavenly Minded Home has a podcast. Will be out tomorrow. So come hang out with us. You guys can see that then. If you want to see the rest of our homestead videos, check out this playlist right up here. Otherwise, we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, friends.
Bye. Click.